Can I ask you a question that may make you feel uncomfortable? Where in life are you making yourself feel smaller just so other people can feel comfortable? Now, before we deep dive into this question, I want to say this. Confidence isn't something that you wake up with one day and because you read the right book or you watch the right movie. It's something you settle into. And lately, I've been thinking about how confidence actually shows up in real life. It's just not about Instagram, what you read on Instagram, or in quotes, but it's in conversations and what we wear when we run our errands and how we respond when we're unsure. This isn't like a how to be confident lecture. I'm not here to lecture you in how to be confident. This is a conversation. So today, I want to talk about confidence in a way we don't usually hear, through how we communicate, how we dress, how we carry ourselves, and in the small, unexpected shifts that actually change everything. If you're new here, hey, I'm Jessica. I'm an executive personal assistant, lifestyle lover, and business owner. Here we talk about all things PA life, career glow ups, hot topics, and actually living a lifestyle you enjoy. So if that sounds like your thing, your vibe, stick around. Now, I've received this question a few times on Instagram, on TikTok, when I do post some of my content. And I thought, why not talk about this now? Since we're in the new year, I think it would be a perfect way to really start off the new year. And it's all about confidence and some other gems that I have in here. And I have my notes, so we're gonna get right into it. So I would like to start off here that confidence is not perfection. When you're thinking about being confident, it's not about showing that you are perfect, because no one is perfect. It's not about arrogance, and it's definitely not about pretending. Confidence is more so about alignment, and I know we all have our different definitions on what that can be, but I truly believe it's about alignment, and when you look up the definitions, they are very similar. So it's when your thoughts and your words and your actions are all saying the same thing. So you mean what you say what you mean, and you move in that way. The reason why so many people struggle with confidence is because they're performing instead of expressing. They're asking, how do I come across, instead of how do I want to feel. Everything we talk about today is going to be about communication, style, and presence. Starts from that shift. Let's talk about communication. And I want to slow this down because this is something that I had to learn the hard way. Confidence in communication isn't about sounding smart, it's about staying connected while you speak. Confident people don't abandon their truths in mid-sentence like most of us do. We're on a roll and then you tend to shift what you truly believe. They also don't rush to fill space. They let themselves feel exactly what they want to say without a second thought. If you're asking, is this too much? You're addressing from self-doubt, not trust. Here's how to actually build personal style. So you start with observation, not buying. Notice whose style you admire and ask, how do they repeat silhouettes? What colors do they live in? How polished versus relaxed do they look? You're studying energy, not copying outfits. 2, follow a style muse intentionally. Pick 3 to 5 people whose style feels aligned with who you are becoming. not who you're trying to impress. Let their consistency teach you. 3. Shop where confidence already exists. Look for brands and stores that feel grounded, elevated, and intentional. Confidence often lives in well-made basics, tailored pieces, clean lines, and thoughtful textures. Remember, if you forget what you're wearing, that's confidence. Now, another good point would be to follow, of course, the popular style icons. Think of Rihanna, Kim Kardashian, even though she's new to this, I would say, decade, she is still following the lines of a fashion style icon. Of course, you have our queen, Sarah Jessica Parker, and then you can also look at the latest runway inspo. Now, our average people are not going to be able to afford straight off the runway look, but you can definitely find the inspiration from well-made and affordable luxury brands. So just think of that. Of course, you can go to your Zara, you can go to different stores online. I am an avid online shopper. If you just take a picture of that look, put it in Google Images, it will give you like different inspiration, and you can find dupes or you can buy the real thing if that's your thing, but that is a great idea to also get inspiration. Now, what I've also liked doing personally is tailoring my pieces. Of course, when you're buying things online, it doesn't fit you all the time the way that you would like. So sometimes if I really love the piece and it's not in my size, I will buy it a size or two up, and then I will go to my local tailor and get it fitted to me. And when I tell you it's snatched, or even a flowy dress, it's actually tailored to my body. And sometimes if you have a good seamstress, they can add little details like a ruffle or a few buttons to really make it stand out and make it you. Of course, you can also go thrifting. This is also a great idea. And then you can also get those tailored. It's a great way to, one, tailor pieces that look amazing to you, build amazing relationships, because I can't tell you how many times I'm walking on an average day in work or just personal life reasons, and someone stops and asks me, oh, I love your blouse, your jacket, and they ask me, like, where did I get that from, or what have you. And when I tell them like I actually got it tailored, their lights like go up. It's like a whole other elevated feel to it. So just keep that in mind. Tailoring your pieces will definitely elevate your look. Here are some simple practices that I've seen myself doing, and I actually see them working, so I want to share. So the first would be called the pause practice. Before you start the next week or anytime you speak, especially in conversations that matter, pause, take one deep breath, and even before you start responding, just take that deep breath. Now, when I say deep breath, it's more so just not subconsciously, but it's one of those deep breaths that when you're meditating. So if you're talking to someone and they're asking you a question, don't like take that breath, like in the nose, out the mouth, very calm, and then give your answer. I just had to give that example because when I tell people that, they're like, what am I gonna, like, I'm not gonna take a deep breath in mid conversation. Absolutely you can, but you don't have to be dramatic about it. Like, come on, people. That pause, okay, we're gonna be serious now. That pause for 3 seconds, even if it's a little longer, that pause does 3 things. It calms your nervous system, It stops over explaining and it trains people to listen to you when you speak. Okay, and the next exercise would be the one sentence boundary. Now, when you're practicing this, you have to mean what you say in one sentence. Not 3, not 5, 1. So an example would be, that doesn't work for me. Sit with that discomfort, let it be your confidence that builds. And remember this, calm is confidence, clarity is confidence, and pauses are confidence. Now let's talk about disclaimer, I live downtown, so you never know what you'll hear. So we're gonna try that again. Now let's talk about style. One of my favorite topics of this conversation. Now, when we're speaking of style, we're not talking about trends. And here's the shift. Style isn't about becoming someone else, it's about giving your inner world a uniform. Now, here's something that most people do not connect with confidence, and it's that your body believes it before your mind does. So, a little tip, I think it's like a little out of the box, would be if you want to feel confident, regulate first, don't perform. Before you're going to that meeting, that date, or having that conversation, drop your shoulders, breathe, remember our breathing, and ground your feet. Confidence is about regulating your nervous system, and that's not a personality. And remember this, people respond to how settled you are, not how impressive you sound. Now, before we close, I don't want to give you any advice. I want to give you one question, because the right question can give you more confidence than any checklist that ever could. Now, here's the question. Where in my life am I making myself smaller so I don't make other people feel uncomfortable? Now, let's sit with that for a second, because this doesn't just show up in big moments. It shows up in small ones in everyday life. It shows up when we are softening our opinion mid-sentence, when you explain a decision that didn't require permission, or you downplay something you're proud of, or even when you are choosing comfort over honesty. And those are some things to seriously think about, especially when it comes to building your confidence or how you maneuver in life, because it shows up. You don't realize that it shows up everywhere, and it starts pouring into all aspects of your life, because confidence doesn't disappear overnight. It disappears quietly in those small moments where we are doing self-abandonment and we could be choosing ourselves, but we don't, because we don't think it matters. And awareness, it works. So once you see where you are shrinking, you could choose differently. You could, but it's going to be your decision to do so. And that is where confidence actually. Now, this isn't about becoming louder, tougher, or even more polished. It's about becoming more rooted. So if this conversation felt like one that you didn't know you needed to hear, or you like what you heard, like, subscribe, or comment, send me a message, or even share this with a friend that you feel like they should be showing up in their best way. So of course, I have more hot topics, more anything that comes to mind. If there's something that you would like for me to elaborate on, or have an idea that would be great for this channel, please let me know, because I am still new here, so your support is greatly appreciated, okay? Now, don't forget that work and life should both feel good. Thanks for hanging out, and until next time.